honestly, I freaking loved this episode of Mob Psycho because this episode didn't only have top-notch fight animation, but the story, the writing for this animation was on point. Because Mob, he basically was in a world, he's living in a world where basically he had no powers whatsoever, and pretty much the way he saw the whole circumstance happen, the way he saw this whole thing go down, the way he survived the 6 months he was in this trapped world, which is almost 30 minutes in real world for whatever reason, but still, it's crazy to see how Mob's life could turn 180 if he didn't have psychic powers. And it also has to do with the plot armor, because obviously he's the main protagonist, so he needs some kind of plot armor to actually give some kind of thing to him. So it's obvious that it also played the plot armor role, but at the same time we also had like a completely different Mob who was being controlled by this spirit, who was being pushed to the edge by the spirit. So it looked like a completely different situation for Mob rather than when he is normally rather than what he normally is like, because normally Mob is a very calm guy. He doesn't have many emotions to share, but here now it's not only that he has no emotions to share, but he's showing more than enough emotions to show that yes, without his powers he's kind of nothing. He's kind of like a guy who gets bullied every time. So yeah, Mob is kinda in that was kinda in that situation, but once obviously Dimple playing the big man role helped out Mob, and Mob became weird. I would say he became an actual superhero. He became some shit from, I don't know. I don't remember the anime's name, but it seems like he became some shit from a famous anime that I can't remember right now. So it's weird because normally Mob would have this darkness covering his face, but now he has this guy, like this positive shine in his face. And it's most probably because he realizes the people around him are the reason why he still is the person he is, why he's still what he is, why he is the same person, the same caring person, the same caring Mob, the Mob who could put a smile on your face. He's the same guy. He realizes that, like, at least he puts a smile on my face. He's a character. He's one of those characters who you could see all the time, and you could have a smile on your face. That's the type of character Mob I see Mob be, and he's such a good character. He tries hard to fit in a normal world, but he can't because of his powers. And it is true that without his powers is kind of a no go for Mob, because he really doesn't have many talents. If I had to put any kind of talent he had, he's a very simple-minded kid. He's not good at studying, is not good at like any kind of special sport activity or anything like that. He doesn't have anything special except for his psychic powers. So yeah, it's like Mob finally realizes that if there wasn't someone guiding him, even if it's just Reigen, who's a con artist and everything, somebody guiding him, like, he wouldn't be where he is right now. And it's something that I appreciate the series to do at a point like this, because this series, it again, I don't know if I've said this previously, but I'll say it now. If I've said previously, it'll be again, that this series knows what it's doing. It knows how to get the viewers to like have an interest on what it is actually. And this is something I realized with One Punch Man, and now one with Mob Psycho season 2 too. Because season 1, I'll be honest, it's interesting. It is very very interesting. It'll get the viewer interested in the series. The viewer will love the series. Yeah, it is true. But season 2 is mind blowing for what it is. It is a top notch series. Mob showing emotions and everything. It's something good. And to see 100% positive reaction from Mob instead of a negative reaction from Mob, and then this meter building is actually towards a positive meter instead of a negative meter, which Mob normally has a negative meter. So it's good to see that Mob is actually, he's actually doing, he's going in a positive side rather than turning into dark side or negative side. Pretty cool in my opinion. Now, as for the action, it was on top notch. It's such a good action sequence. It's such a good action. This whole action sequence just in general was just amazing. But also, this was a good scene too. The way she asked Mob for forgiveness, understanding that what she had done to Mob in the other world, in her dream world, was wrong. It kind of was a good. It kind of was a cute scene. I didn't like it. Didn't make me sad or anything. It made me feel cute. It was kind of cute. I don't know. That's just how I felt when I saw that scene. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I also like how Reigen at the end gives Mob advice, even though that wasn't really an advice about. I completely forgot what the advice was. That's a surprise. I forgot what the advice was. But he does give Mob an interesting advice about how he should not use his powers for bad things or some shit like that. I don't remember. But it had to do something with his powers. That's all I remember right now. But yeah, that was good advice to someone like Mob, even though it was just because he was trying to like run away from what he was doing, but still it was good advice from Reigen. So yeah, let me know what you think about this episode of Mob Psycho season 2. Again, great episode, great arc just in general. A 2-episode thing, still a great arc for something like a Mob Psycho. Yeah, let me know what you think about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace.